we're happy to be in the middle of it. We're happy to have a chance to compete this weekend. We're appreciative of the opportunity, and obviously, we hope that we can continue to keep playing. It seems like the variant. Well, it doesn't seem like it is spreading like crazy, and fortunately, we've remained in a good place with our roster, and looking forward to two great games.
Coach, let's chronologically just kind of go over some of the highlights to date without actually playing highlights. But let's talk about this season. So you're 8-8 coming into tomorrow night's game at Harvard. You open up the season in early November with a win over Salve at home. And then I thought we learned a lot about your basketball team. Game 2, you head down to Chapel Hill, North Carolina to take on the then 17th-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. And without your grad student co-captain, Tamadong Cho, arguably your top player, you guys gave the Tar Heels everything they could handle.
Yeah, we did. And, obviously without T for the entire game, and really without Jalen and David for a lot of the game, too.
Your whole
front
front court, right?
So I thought our young guys, our whole team, I thought they competed really, really well, and ultimately we came up a little bit short. But, at points of that game, we had 3 freshmen, a sophomore and a junior out there, given that these guys in their foul trouble and T's injury. So it was good to see. We felt pretty good about this team coming in. We've learned a lot about us. Obviously, we're, I'm sure you'll get to it. We've not played our best basketball of late, but for us to respond in that environment at Carolina in front of 17,000, 18,000 fans, and being it down 3 with the ball in the final minute. Again, never happy with the loss, but I was pleased with how we competed.
But you felt in the preseason that you had arguably your most talented and your deepest roster since you've been here. Now in your 10th year, 9th season as head coach here at your alma mater. And to me, that performance was maybe validation of your thoughts in the preseason.
No question. And obviously Dan Friday, was terrific leading our team as a sophomore point guard. Nana Wusu-Anane in his first career start was outstanding. Keno Lilly, Aaron Cooley, Paxton Wojcik, and everyone who played, that night, I thought, they weren't afraid, right?
Nope.
They showed confidence, they showed poise, and it was, as a coach, obviously all you can do is hope that you've prepared them and put them in the right positions, but they got to go out there and make the plays. And
right.
A lot of that was just those guys stepping up, not being afraid of the moment, and making some really great plays.
And, Coach, then your team went down to St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands to participate in the Paradise Jam, and you played 3 games down there against Creighton, against Bradley, and against Colorado. You ended up going 1-2. You beat Bradley in Game 2. And then you gave Colorado out of the Pac-12 everything they could handle before losing to the Buffs by 2. But just tell me about the overall experience for your team, being able to play in an in-season tournament like that, 3 games in a short amount of time, being able to take your team on the road to a nice destination like that, maybe as a team bonding type experience. What did the whole experience of the Paradise Jam mean to you and your program?
Well, I'm appreciative and supportive of the opportunity, by our administrators and, some donors who made that trip possible. I thought, for us to play 3 high-level games on a neutral court will prepare us for the Ivy League and for the postseason. We didn't play very well against Creighton, and they were prepared, and they did a great job against us. We beat a really good Bradley team out of the Missouri Valley Conference, a team that, won the Missouri Valley tournament in both 2019 and 2020. And then, like you said, we really controlled the game against Colorado. For 30 minutes we led, and unfortunately, just couldn't score enough to win the game. But we physically competed with a Power 5 team. We defended, we rebounded, just didn't score enough. So coming back from the Virgin Islands, I think we felt even a little bit better about our ability to defend and rebound, knew that we have to continue to grow as an offensive team. And overall, to be down there for 6 days and experience, the tournament and the island the way we did, I thought, these guys deserved it, and I thought they enjoyed it.
Yeah, a lot of fun things were done down there. Obviously, you went snorkeling and things of that nature. To me, Coach, one of the nicest things and one of the funnest things for me was when you took the team and the entire travel party to a local elementary school, and the team got to, play around with some third graders. They had fun doing some basketball stuff, doing some different types of things with them.
Yeah, I mean, so much of these guys. I mean, they appreciate the opportunity they have at Brown. They know that at some point in their lives, they were given the opportunity to follow someone and follow a role model. And now, as Division I student athletes at a school like Brown, an institution in the Ivy League, they're role models. And down there in St. Thomas, it was great for them to be present and be involved and have fun with the third graders. And those little boys and girls were looking up to these guys the way they should. Like they're role models who really value academics, who have fun in sports, who are great teammates, and who work really hard, have a great attitude in everything they do. So that was kind of our team's message to the group at the school. Academics, do your best. In sport, have fun, and then be a great teammate with a great attitude in everything you do, and there's going to be some good things coming.
So your team arrived home from St. Thomas, literally arrived back on campus early in the morning hours the day before Thanksgiving, and then the day after Thanksgiving, you hosted the Bryant Bulldogs and lost a hard-fought game to Bryant. That was one of those tough spots, I think, for your team. Coming off that trip, the Thanksgiving holiday, to play that game, an in-state rival like you did, and it was a war. But I know in talking to you, you said if you had to do it all over again, you might space that game out a little bit.
Yeah, well, obviously don't want to take anything away from Bryant, because I thought they obviously made they made a couple more plays than we did, and they were just a little bit better that day, and I think they're going to have a great season. I think they have a great chance to do well in their conference, the Northeast Conference. I thought our team did a lot of good things, but not enough, and it was a fun game. It was an intense game. I think the state deserves to see all four Division I teams compete as often as they can in those types of games, and I thought that I know that the Brown-Bryant game is going to be a fun one for people around the state.
Yep.
Who like college basketball for years to come.
Then your team went on a nice little run, Coach. 4 consecutive wins at Quinnipiac, at UMass Lowell, home against Sacred Heart, and at Merrimack.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone scored more than 63 points against us in that stretch. So, and you take it back to the Virgin Islands, Bradley only scored 62, Colorado 54, Bryant 65. So our defense in that 7-game stretch, I thought, really started to come alive and show the type of capabilities it has. We had some really good performances throughout that 4-game win streak. Obviously, T going home to Lowell and scoring 26 and scoring his 1,000th career point.
Yep.
All of our guys really contributed, and we beat some good teams. And we won 3 of them on the road against Quinnipiac and Lowell and Merrimack. And really all 4 wins were by double figures, and I think we controlled most of those 4 games.
And now as we head into this weekend's series at Harvard and at Dartmouth on Friday and Saturday respectively, the team riding a 4-game losing streak. Some tough competition, though. I mean, home against Vermont, then you had a pretty big break before the Syracuse game after Christmas, and then at Maryland, and most recently at Penn on Sunday.
Again, we put this schedule together for a reason. Obviously, we wanted to, Vermont was a great, team to play, America's favorite, and, obviously have had great success in their conference. They're a top 100 team by basically all the metrics. That was a game right down to the wire. We had the ball down 1 with 15 seconds to go and got a great look that just didn't fall. Obviously we thought we were going to play Rhode Island, and unfortunately they had some COVID challenges that would not allow that game to happen. We quickly filled it with Syracuse, and we got you back to your alma mater in the Carrier Dome, and it was a good experience. Even though we didn't. I thought we competed okay in the first half. Second half, we clearly didn't play well, and to their credit, they were terrific, especially the way they shot it. And then the Maryland game we had planned on for a while, return home for Josh Watts and Keno Lilly and so many of our alums in the area. Up 4 at halftime and up 6 at one point in the second half, and unfortunately, defensively again, just couldn't get enough stops down the stretch. And then tough one the other day, against a good Penn team, much better than their record. Coach Donahue, obviously a terrific coach, and had them ready. And they jumped on us a little bit. I thought they played a little harder, a little more energy early on, which is hard to say because I think that's one of our trademarks. We played very well in the second half, but it just wasn't enough. They made some plays, they made some tough shots, and we put ourselves behind the eight ball a little bit with an 0-1 start in the Ivy League, and makes us, I think, need to play like a desperate team tomorrow night with a great sense of urgency. I said to you yesterday or today, I think, and I told these guys, throughout the week, we want to be champions. You don't want to start 0-2.
Right.
So we've got to have great urgency going up there tomorrow night.
So are you one of those guys that subscribes to the Bill Parcells philosophy, you are what your record says you are, or do you look at this and say 8-8? No, I understand we're 500 right now, but this team has the potential to be a lot better than that.
Well, I think we have the potential to be a lot better, but given the schedule we've played, I mean, we've really challenged ourselves, and weren't overly concerned. Obviously, you want to win every game you play, but we really wanted to put ourselves in some tough situations and some tough environments against some high-level teams to prepare for what we're in now, right? And I think that we've lost a lot of close games. We've really only won one close game at Bradley. The rest of our wins have all been by double figures, but we've lost quite a few close ones, and hopefully we're learning. Hopefully we're growing and learning through every experience and developing the right type of mentality to win tough games in our conference, which we're going to have to do if we want to accomplish our goals. So, the record, we could have probably, played a little softer schedule and had a better record right now, but that's not what was best for these guys. These guys have ambitious goals. We've got a senior-laden group, a veteran-laden group, and, I think playing the Power Six that we've played, at Carolina, at Maryland, at Syracuse, playing Creighton, playing Colorado, playing really good mid-majors teams like Vermont, it's all going to make us that much tougher and more resilient come league play, and that's the thought. We'll find out, as we go through these next 8-9 weeks.
Yeah, and Coach, as we talked about earlier, this team has the depth to be able to play that type of schedule, right? You can play a rigorous early non-conference schedule when you're playing 10, 12 guys like you are this year.
Yeah, and obviously, like every game, we've said to these guys, we think we have more than 5 guys that are capable of starting. We think we have more than whatever you want to call it, 8 or 9 that play in a typical rotation. Some nights it's going to be your night. Other nights it may be your teammate's night.
Is it a matchup thing? Is it a feel thing?
I think it's a lot. It's how do you practice? It's what's the opponent do that you can exploit? What's the opponent do that you got to be really concerned about? And then who's playing well, right? We go in every game with a thought and a plan of what our rotations should look like. Try to stick to that as much as we can in the first half, and then the second half is a lot of substituting by feel and what the first half told us, and we obviously try to combine old school feel and instincts with new age data and analytics to make the best decisions we can to put our team in the right position to win.
So you talked about the veteran leaders, and we're going to talk to 2 of them tonight, your captains, Tamanong Cho and David Mitchell. T comes back for a 5th year as a grad student, and, of course, David, a senior, along with Jalen Gainey, the reigning Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, they're your leaders, right? I mean, it starts with them.
Well, yeah, I think just the fact that you said he's back for a graduate school tells you all you need to know about T and his commitment and loyalty to our program. He could be playing on every TV almost every other night, if he decided he wanted to and chase and play at that level. But he wanted to come back to Brown. He wants to win an Ivy League championship. He wants to get us in the NCAA tournament, and we appreciate obviously his commitment and his loyalty, and we also appreciate his play and his talent because he's that good of a player and that good of a leader. So, but yeah, David and Jalen, they've been through it. They've been with us for now 4 years. Even though last year was just a practice-only year, they all grew. They both grew and developed in that year. And then Noah Marin's been a great addition to that class as well. He's a senior, and he joined us midway through his career after transferring. But it's a great senior class. I expect them to show us the way and really lead us throughout this league season, and just really appreciative for all that they've done.
All right, speaking of T and David, we'll take a timeout. When we come back on the Mike Martin Coaches Show from Hope Street Pizza, we'll be joined by Tamanong Cho and David Mitchell when we continue with more right after this.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place: event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I'm incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person.
We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place: event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I'm incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person.
We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here. Welcome back to the Mike Martin Show on AM 790 WPRV and on Facebook Live. We are back live at Hope Street Pizza here on the east side of Providence. And this portion of the Mike Martin Show brought to you by the Brown University Sports Foundation, which is committed to providing funding and support to Brown athletics that enhance the student-athlete experience. Thank you for your generosity and your service to Brown athletics. Well, it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the show this week the captains for this year's team. To my immediate right, we have David Mitchell, senior captain from Roxbury, Massachusetts. David, how are you?
I'm great, Scott. Happy to be here.
Thanks for joining us. And then to your right, we have grad student captain from Lowell, Massachusetts, Tamanong Cho. T, how are you?
I'm great, Scott. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for joining us, guys. Appreciate it. All right, before we maybe talk about each of you individually, all right, 8-8 through 16 games. I know you guys feel like that number could be and should be better, but just give me your take right now through 16 games. How do you feel about this team?
I still feel very confident. I think everything happens for a reason. All these games we had are all learning experiences for the weeks coming up. So although we're 8-8 right now, I'm real confident in what we can do in these next 10 weeks.
T, how about you?
Yeah, to piggyback off what Mitch said, I think, there's a lot of learning experiences that we can take away from these games. But, of course, we all know it's conference play now, so, it's time to put those into the real games and, execute.
I don't know how you guys feel, but I love the fact that, Coach put together a challenging non-conference schedule like this because he had confidence in you guys. He thought that you guys were, A, prepared to play a schedule like that, and B, that it would help you prepare for Ivy League play. Agree?
Most definitely. I mean, even though all the outcomes weren't what we wanted, I still think we played hard and we played well, and we showed that we are prepared to play at these levels. So I'm really grateful and happy that we got the opportunity to show how good we are, and we just got to continue to prove it.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, this is some of the reasons why I came back. To show not only to Brown fans, but to the whole world that we're a good program. Out of my last couple years here, this has been the toughest non-conference schedule ever, so it's been a great thing.
T, when you guys are at your best, I feel like you guys are just locking teams up defensively. We talked about that 4-game win streak we went on, Quinnipiac and UMass Lowell. You went home, and then we hosted Sacred Heart, went to Merrimack, and you guys were probably playing your best defense of the season at that time.
Yeah, no, that's our identity. That's what Coach emphasized from day one. That's been one of our goals, to be one of the best teams, defensive teams in the country. So yeah, when you say that about us, that's what we're used to. That's what we try to execute every day in practice, off the court, everything.
And Mitch, that's your thing, right? I mean, that's your calling card. That's why you are who you are. Coach counts on you to be that guy, that lockdown defender that's going to accept the challenge to lock up usually the team's leading scorer that you're playing.
That's my role. I know that. I'm not always out there to score the most points or do that, but also make the dirty plays, the gritty plays, the players that other kids and other teams don't want to make. Just make sure I put our teammates in the best position to be successful both offensively and most definitely on defense.
All right, now you say that. I'm not out there always to score the basketball. I'm out there to be a defensive presence. You had a 3-game stretch when we were in the middle of playing our best basketball, that 4-game win streak. Quinnipiac, UMass Lowell, Sacred Heart. You went 5 of 8 from beyond the arc.
He's a shooter. He
is, man. He's open. Get him the ball.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a lot of work. We had a long time since our last season, so definitely just took that opportunity to work on my game, especially the outside shooting, because that had been a struggle of mine on my first 14 months on campus. So just wanted to make sure that I got my confidence together, and when I was open, let it fly, shoot it.
Now, T, these last couple of games, 25 at Maryland. You tied your career high with 26 against Penn the other night. That second half against Penn, that was Tamanong Cho. Like, you came out in the second half and said, I am going to take control of this game, and you got the ball, and you just went right to the basket, like with authority. To me, that's T. Cho at his best.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's you try to see how the defense is playing you initially, and I finally feel 100% good, coming off the hip injury early in the season. So I just try to do my best, help the team win, and, we can get the dub at the end of the day. But I'm sure, like we've been talking about earlier, we're going to learn from that and execute that in the next game.
So let's talk about that for a second, because you're right. Your season, for those who don't know, T's season got off to a rather slow start. You missed most of the preseason. You missed some early season games. We talked about the Carolina game. Unfortunately, you weren't able to dress for because of that hip injury. And then, you had an MRI, and they determined things were okay. So you're kind of probably at this stage of the season where you would have been toward the beginning of the year had you played an entire preseason, right?
Yeah, you like to think that. It took a little bit of a process to figure out really what was going on and, how to rehab it and get back to it. But now I'm feeling great. The guys were supporting me. When I wasn't playing, I just tried to do my best on the bench to support my guys. So now we're here.
Mitch, I said earlier, I think this team's at its best when you guys are playing lockdown defense because you're such a good defensive team man-to-man. But I also feel like this is a team that has guys that when they fill their roles can be as good as it gets. And here's what I mean by that. Like I said, the other night in the second half, the way that he was aggressively looking for his offense, that's T. Cho. The way you act as a lockdown defender on the defensive end, that's your gig. Like a guy like Dan Friday, to me, I think he could get 10 to 12 points a game if he wanted to at the free throw line. I'd like to see him get fouled more and go to the free throw line and score points there. A guy like, let's take Keno Lilly, for example. He's probably your best outside shooter, and he's got that little running floater. Jalen Gainey, reigning defensive Ivy League Player of the Year. He's a rim protector. I feel like if everybody fills their roles and plays to their strength, you guys can be really good.
Most definitely. We all believe that. We just want to continue each and every day, no matter if things are going well or not, to give each other confidence, to put each other in the right positions to do what we do best. Because obviously, as we work good individually, we work even better as a collective. So each person, they fill their roles, will do everything. And I think when that 4-game stretch, when we were winning, I think that was a part of it. Everyone was filling in their roles and doing what they did best individually, and it all just came together as a team.
T, is this the deepest and most talented roster since you've been here?
Yeah, for sure. Not only the deepest and most talented, but the most close-knit off the court as well. And I feel like this is what is transferring onto the court, just our team chemistry and being on the same page and everything. So, for sure.
Yeah. One of those guys is JG. He's my guy, man. He's like the most fun-loving human being I think I've ever met. Does that guy ever get mad? Well, I've seen him get angry on the court, but like off the court, does he ever get mad?
Gentle giant off the court, man.
He is.
Imagine living with him. We lived with him last year, so we have a good up close and
he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
He really is. So, you lost to Penn, and I know you guys would love to get that one back, but you can't. But now all eyes are on Harvard tomorrow night. You guys have had some success in recent years against the Crimson. You've won 3 straight against Harvard going in to this game tomorrow night. Is it just a matter of you've played well when you've faced Harvard these last 3 games? Why the success recently against Harvard?
I think it's just coaches preparing us properly, and we trusting him and execute his game plan. I feel like first and foremost that's what it is, and just trusting each other on the court. But yeah, the reason why we've been winning these games is because we go in there with a great mindset that we're going to win and executing what coach wants us to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's all about preparation. I don't think it has anything to do with the opponent we're facing. I think it's just our preparation each and every day and us playing our best ball when we need to, especially that game a couple years ago we needed to win to get into the playoffs. Even though we didn't, I think we had prepared well enough. We played desperate enough. We played with enough urgency to win, and that's what happened.
Well, I thought you two were both played critical roles in wins over them a couple of years ago. You mentioned that one you had to win that final weekend up there. You get inserted into the starting lineup. We were a different team that last weekend last year. At Harvard and at Dartmouth, man, you just brought an energy and a chippiness, I thought, to the floor that was maybe missing a little bit.
Yeah, that's just going off what we need to do this weekend is just play with urgency and be a desperate team. I think I did that then, and I need to continue to bring that this year. And I think if I continue to do that, T continues to do that, everyone else will follow, and then it will just all translate.
And T, I think we'll always remember for as long as I live the and one by you to close out the Crimson at the Pizzatola Sports Center. Boy, that's got to be one of the highlights of your career.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I remember like it was yesterday when coach was drawing it up. It was the same play, like at PC versus my freshman year. So. Yep. I was able to just execute it and, finish and get the N1.
So what was it? We had a game recently that I know it was drawn up the last play for you. Unfortunately, it didn't go. But that's going to make you feel good knowing that coach counts on you, relies on you when the game's on the line.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure. I mean, as, the fifth-year guy, I feel like the team relies on me to kind of be the engine of the motor to get the team going. So, that's part of my responsibility, and that's something I take great pride in to make sure that everyone's on the same page and we're all going as a unit.
Was it the Vermont game? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Maybe toward the end? I can't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was.
So going back to Lowell, go back to your hometown of Lowell, Massachusetts. As I said, they should have played P. Diddy's Coming Home as you walked into the arena. And you go in and you score a career-high 26 in front of family and friends, and at the same time you pass the 1,000 career point mark. How cool was that for you?
Yeah, no, that was an amazing experience. I was kind of struggling till that game, and guys were kind of joking that I was waiting to get my 1,000 at UMass Lowell, obviously, which was not the case. But, no, it was an amazing experience because, I was been practicing in that gym even before Brown in high school, so to have it kind of come full circle, it was great.
And you guys brought it. I thought UMass Lowell tried to come out and establish a certain type of attitude and physicality to the game, and you guys, to me, matched and surpassed it. You're like, no, we'll dictate how this game is played. You know what I mean? I thought that was one of the team's better performances of the season. Would you agree, Dave?
I totally agree. I think that's what we try to come out and do every game, just set the tone, be the tougher team. Coach harps on that every game, just be the tougher team. We have a team full of dogs, teams full of real tough guys, real strong and athletic players. So when we do that, I think that coordinates everything for the rest of the game.
And that's where defense matters, right? Because even if shots aren't going early, if you guys dig in defensively, that's going to keep you in the game
Exactly.
and put you in position where you can win it when the shots start falling.
Colorado, yeah.
Yep.
Same thing at Colorado.
So, T, tell us about your off-season decision, right? I mean, COVID has just thrown the whole world upside down, and it canceled your season last year. Your decision, I mean, you entered the transfer portal, right?
Yes, sir.
You had offers, you had opportunities to go to scholarship schools. In the end, you decided you wanted to return to Brown, go to grad school, and be a Bear for another year. Take us through that whole process.
Yes, I remember. Obviously, we were in the Zoom call. Actually, I was living, like I said, with Mitch and Jalen. So we were in the Zoom call and while they were announcing the news. I remember how, of course, we were extremely sad that we didn't get a chance to get that final hoorah. And then as time went by, it was kind of something in the air saying, they might give us a fifth-year option, they might not. Mentally, I was already like, all right, I'm going to transfer. And then they announced that. And, of course, I kind of living with these guys, they're in my ear every other day. So I'm considering that and ultimately just making the decision to come back and finish what I started my freshman year and winning with the guys, who I came in with and grew up with as, a college student. So that was a pretty easy decision for me. And, just trying to win the championship here, get a banner on that gym in the Pizzatola, it was a no-brainer.
So, Mitch, I feel like we all, Brown fans, myself included, almost need to thank you and JG. Did you put a little pressure on him to make the decision he did?
We put a lot of pressure on him, though, but, he made his final decision, but we were in his ear.
So T, I've talked to you about this. I know how challenging grad school is. It's not easy, right? It's a step up in competition from the undergraduate
to
level.
Say the least, yeah.
What's it been like for you? First of all, what are you getting a grad degree in, and what has it been like for you?
Getting a grad degree in public affairs. It's been a great experience overall. The people in there are immaculate, great people. Obviously, they have past experience with public affairs, and this is my first time even learning about things like this. So they've been able to just teach me things that I didn't know, things that they've learned through their past jobs or past experiences, things they learned in undergrad. So the cohort of people is amazing. The teachers have been really understanding, knowing that I'm also an athlete, and of course it's the first time that this ever happened. So overall, it's been a great experience. Of course, it's been extremely challenging, especially having to go to practice and then having to study or try to line up my schedule with my group. But other than that, it's been a great experience, and I'm just happy to be able to take advantage of it.
David, what is your concentration?
English.
So you'll be graduating with a degree in English?
Yep.
And what's going to come up next for you? I know you're focused on this season and et cetera, what's in front of you this weekend at Harvard and Dartmouth, but what's up next?
Hopefully I'll be able to take an opportunity with the extra COVID year and hopefully get to play basketball another year. We'll figure out where after this season, but more importantly, after that, I just want to be a chance to get a grad degree in sports journalism or some sort of broadcasting degree, so I can be able to go into a sports journalist job, see what you're doing and stuff, just try to take it that way, that direction.
Right. So, T, one of the many things that happened during the 2-year pandemic, and there was bad that happened, and I kind of feel like good that has started to come out of it, the George Floyd incident, okay? And it's led to the Black Lives Matter movement. You and your teammates in this program has been very active in that. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So in the summer, of course, it was an extremely hard topic to have a discussion about. But in the summer, we had a group Zoom call led by Coach, and we kind of just voiced our opinions not our opinions, but just how we felt. And just to see that camaraderie and guys, being there to support each other, it was a good thing to know that, you have your brothers there for you. And we were able to move forward with that and, try to incorporate things that we want to do, whether it was in the society, in the communities, and just things that we can do to promote, Black Lives Matter movement.
And David, how much did it mean to you to have Coach reach out to you guys and say, look, I can't relate. I've never walked a mile in your shoes, but knowing that he cared and he listens and he wants to know what's on your mind and what can we do to make your life better.
It's amazing. It just shows that support that he always has for us, and we know that it's true, it's genuine. And it just really means a lot, just not only from him, but all of our assistant coaches, all the people within the program, all of my teammates too. And just knowing that everyone shares a connection, even though obviously everyone's situation isn't the same, but everyone has that same connectivity. Everyone understands. It's just something that shows like how important we are, and that sort of translates to this year and how close-knit we are as a group and how much we enjoy being around each other and enjoy playing with each other and just being a part of each other.
One of the things that also came out of this was the Black Excellence Speaker Series that the program's put together, which I think is awesome. T, talk to us about that.
Oh yeah, that was a great experience. I forget who initially started the idea, Mitch, but it was just we had a group Zoom call with guys, alums would come on, friends of the program would come on, and we would just just soak up all the information they had, things that they've been doing to help their communities, things that they've done post college, and it's been a great experience.
And how cool is that to see the people that have gone on to great success? Some of the success stories may have been while they were here at Brown on the floor in the classroom, but just about every one of them, we're talking about great success after Brown.
Exactly. It was great, and it was a lot of information and people that I had no idea about. So it was just an opportunity to learn, opportunity to meet new people, film different relationships. So I really enjoyed it. I think the best part about it was just simply seeing other people who are in my shoes at one point and knowing that obviously we're not there yet, but as we go beyond Brown, both T and I and everyone on the team, we'll have our own success stories to share, and hopefully we get the chance to come back and speak to whoever's currently playing at Brown, or just be able to do some sort of way to help out the same way these fellas did for us.
So an additional chance for you guys to network. Let's talk about the whole networking process, right? That's one thing that I know Coach tries to do as well, as help you guys network with fellow Brown basketball alumni. Have you been able to do that to the point where whenever you guys decide to hang up the basketball sneakers, right? And hopefully that's not for a long time from now. But have you done that to the point where, you've made some connections that might be able to help you in the working world?
Yeah, no, for 100%. Even early in my freshman year, one of the first internships I had was with Dan Forbes, who was an alum, friend of and obviously a friend of the program.
Yep.
And just working with him in the summer and just trying to get workouts in here on campus. So Coach really emphasized taking advantage of that networking immediately once I was a freshman.
David?
Most definitely, I agree. I had done a couple internships, especially during COVID. We had done one with Josh Fenton on Go Local Prov.
Yep.
So it was a very cool experience, and just filming those relationships that I wouldn't be able to have outside of that, even during a pandemic where you can't see anyone face to face. You're still able to build a relationship, build a bond, and just be able to communicate with other people about different things outside of basketball.
So relatively speaking, you guys are both local guys, right? Massachusetts guys, Lowell, Massachusetts, Roxbury, Mass. Did you know Aaron Cooley before he decided to come here?
I've known Aaron Cooley since he was in diapers.
Is that right?
Yeah, I've known him. My mom is his godmother, so our families have been connected all the time. That's why he's my cousin. So we've been close. Been with him every time. I remember when I first freshman year I had braids, but I used to get my hair braided at his mom's shop for
Is that right?
about 8-9 years. So I've seen him all the time. I've known him. I watched his growth. I've been really proud of him, and I'm happy that we get this chance to play together.
So you must have been really proud when you saw him have that. Didn't he hit like a big three against the Tar Heels right before halftime?
Yep.
Down there?
Mm-hmm. It was just real happy, because he's been through a couple injuries too. So
yep.
I know he's been up and down about that, but I'm just happy to see him playing good basketball, and we get to share a moment finally.
So, T, I know you're concentrated solely on trying to win an Ivy championship, trying to get to the NCAA tournament. But let's just look down the line for a second if we can. I know you want to play professionally when you get out of here, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that what comes out?
Yeah.
So what do you have to do toward that end in terms of talking to an agent? What do you have to do to see that process through?
Well, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I previously put my name in the NBA draft right before the COVID season.
Yep.
So I was able to talk to some teams via Zoom, talk to NBA general managers or coaches, whatever the case was, via Zoom, and pretty much just get feedback from them and things I got to do better for the upcoming season, which of course got canceled, or just things I got to improve on, things that I do well. So I think moving forward is just showing that I can improve those things. And then once the season's over, I think probably like the agencies when that starts, trying to get draft workouts and things like that.
Have you had a chance, or will you maybe get a chance to talk to a guy like former Yale Bulldog Nia Ione?
Oh, yeah. No, actually, when I put my name in the draft, I actually did have a conversation with him. He was really helpful. And, we talked about that, just the not only Brown networking, but Ivy League networking in general. So, yeah, he was a really big help. Guy Terrence Mann from Lowell and LA Clippers, I'm really close with him as well. So I was able to kind of get his ear. And there's a couple guys in the NBA that I've been able to talk to who I've known just growing up through basketball. So I'm blessed to be doing that.
So, Mitch, this year they're changing the Ivy League schedule a little bit. There's only 3, I think, weekends where we have Friday, Saturday back-to-back. This happens to be one of them. How do you feel about that? Did you like the Friday, Saturday night? Do you like the fact that they're spacing them out a little bit more? What's your thoughts?
Honestly, I didn't mind the back-to-backs because I just felt like we'd be locked in for that whole week and get a chance to just perform those 2 days. But honestly, whatever the schedule is, I'm ready to play, and we got to be ready to play. I'm happy that it's spaced out now for a chance to get rest. I'm an older guy, a little bit more wear and tear on my body, so it's good to get a chance to get some rest when you need to, and just be able to lock in and focus on, say, one team over a course of a weekend, so that we're making sure we can do all we can to get a win.
T, how about you?
Yeah, I'm glad it's done with. I mean, not fully done with, but I wasn't a big fan of the back-to-back.
Could you feel it on night 2?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely towards the end of the season too. But you fight through that mentally. It's all mental. Fight through that mentally, and you get through the game. So, but I'm good at least considering changing it up for the future. So, yeah.
All right. So outside of maybe him, like who's the clown on the team? Who keeps it light?
Felix Gloman. You wouldn't guess it, but Felix Gloman.
Is that right?
Yeah. Shout out Flex.
Flex definitely keeps it light.
Is that right?
Yeah, he had a little award show actually when we were in Philly for New Year's Eve. The day after, we had a little award show. So and he kind of set it up. So yeah, he's a clown.
Any awards you can share with us?
Let's see.
I'll say that I got the best dressed other than Mitch. It was specifically other than Mitch who was the best dressed.
So it's the other than David Mitchell best dressed award. So
He's
that must
here,
mean you.
Everyone
wow.
else. Yeah.
They put me on a pedestal top notch. So
I like
I'm
it.
glad they recognize him.
For sure.
I like it.
Take after Chuck, man.
That's pretty good. All right. So Harvard Friday night, Dartmouth Saturday night. Is it a situation where you're all week preparing for Harvard and then it's a crash course pretty much with Dartmouth on the day of the game?
No, I think during the week we mix it up.
Yep.
So just playing a lot of the teams run similar offenses, so we get a chance to go against both throughout the week and just sort of also focus on ourselves too.
Yep.
As long as we're playing the right way, it doesn't really matter what the other team is running necessarily. So we just try to focus our best on both teams and also focus on ourselves.
Yep.
No, for sure. Yeah, like Mitch was saying, we just focus on different teams during the week and different offenses, different defenses, and focus on ourselves.
So when you two finally graduate and you get out of here, what are you going to do when you're not going to have Chuck around anymore?
I don't know.
He's the man.
What is Chuck going to do without us?
That's the real question. What's Chuck going to do?
I mean, Chuck, he runs a tight ship on that bus after the game, man. Make sure everybody's got their sandwich, everybody's settled, ready to go.
Extremely grateful for Chuck. I think the whole Brown Athletics program is.
No doubt about it. No, you know what? You walk into that OMAC, you get that smile, you get that fist bump.
Yes,
every person that walks into that building, he's the best.
Chuck's going to be crying at our graduation.
Yes, sir.
Well, guys, good luck this weekend against Harvard and Dartmouth, and thank you for everything over the past, in your case, 5 years, in your case, 4 years. I'm really looking forward to see the rest of this season and then what the future holds for both of you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you, Scott. This is amazing.
All right, David Mitchell, Tamanang Cho, our guest on the Mike Martin Show. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more from Hope Street Pizza right after this.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place: event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I am incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person. We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here.
Doctors at University Orthopedics have been caring for the people of southeastern New England for more than 40 years. With the Warren Alpert Medical School of Brown University, we train the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Our state-of-the-art facilities stretch from Westerly to Mansfield. At our East Bay Surgery Center, we've performed thousands of surgeries, including same-day total joint replacements. We've grown through the years, but our goal has always been getting you back to doing what you love to do. The best orthopedic care anywhere is right here. University Orthopedics.
From corporate events to weddings by the bay to private celebrations, the Pronzi name means elegance, personalized service, and exacting attention to detail. Pronzi has everything you need in one place: event planning, catering, tents, tables and chairs, decor, and so much more. Call Pronzi today and let them plan your next event. Why go anywhere else?
The day the world stopped was the day we found where to go. From now on, we're not going to leave anything on our plates because we've learned to savor the moments that were always there, and they never tasted this good.
Elite Physical Therapy was founded on relationships and wanting to do the very best and elite by others. Having our partnerships with institutions like the University of Rhode Island, Providence College, and Brown University have made us proud to continue to serve the communities like they do.
I can say that I'm incredibly proud of our team and our community.
Treating them, we know these people on a personal level.
Here at Elite, we really focus on the person and what's important to the person.
We love Rhode Island. We're living here. We're raising our families here.
Welcome back to the Mike Martin Show on AM 790 WPRV and on Facebook Live. We are live at Hope Street Pizza here on the east side of Providence. Scott Cardisci, Mike Martin with you. This portion of the show brought to you by Ticket Smarter. Nothing beats the power and excitement of live events like Ticket Smarter. For all the best sports, concerts, and theater events, visit Ticketsmarter.com or on the app. Ticket Smarter, proud to be the official ticket resale marketplace of Brown Athletics. Ticket Smarter, a smarter way to buy tickets. Coach, I tell you what, I just love those guys. Not just because of the unbelievable effort they give you on the floor, game in and game out, and the unbelievable entertainment they provide me and all Brown basketball fans. They're just wonderful human beings.
Yeah, we're really fortunate, obviously, to have these two guys leading the way. And, you know, we got 15 other guys on the roster that follow their lead and obviously are all at Brown for a reason. But, you know, they're great players. They're hard workers, but above all, they're really good young men. And as you know, my wife and my 3 daughters are around our program an awful lot. And, you know, for my daughters to look up and see these guys and, you know, with the type of just the type of young men they are and how serious they're about it, their academics, how much fun they have playing the sport, but then the attitude and, you know, the care that they show for people. It's we're really fortunate, and I couldn't be more pleased with the type of young men we have in our program, Scott.
Yeah, Coach, I couldn't agree with you more. And one of the absolute best things about my job at Brown was being able to expose my son Jack, who's here tonight at the show, to that at a very young age. And he traveled with us on many road trips and looked up to Brown basketball players, not because they were taller than him, but because of everything that they are and everything that they represent. And they were role models for him. Sean McGonigal probably couldn't have been any nicer taking Jack under his wing when Jack was about this big. And, you know, that's what I think of these guys. I just think you can't have better role models than them.
Yeah, amen. I couldn't say any better myself. I agree, Scott.
Yep. All right, Coach. Harvard Friday night, Dartmouth Saturday. Let's start with the Crimson Friday night. What can you tell us about them?
Yeah, well, they haven't played since I think December 21st. You know, they had a game against Kansas that was canceled. They had a game against Princeton that was postponed. You know, they're playing well. They're 8-4. They've got 2 all-league players for sure in Ledlam and Kirkwood. Yep. Big, versatile, skilled, talented, you know, wing forwards. You know, they both can shoot it from 3. They can score at the rim. They've got good mid-range games. Kirkwood's just a phenomenal all-around player, former Rookie of the Year in the conference, first-team All-League as a sophomore. He's a he's just a dynamic player, and Ledlam is a bull. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's athletic. He can score all over the court. So I think we got some guys to match up with them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the two guys we just had on the show, we'll draw those two assignments to start.
Yep.
But they shoot it. I mean, they make, I think, 11 threes a game. Sakota and Trey 2 and, some of the guys off the bench. Catchings, who starts at the 5, he can shoot it. I believe Mason Forbes will be back, who I think they anticipated to be their starting 5-man. They've had some real injuries in the front court, but they're getting healthy now. Obviously, Tommy's built a really strong program with a winning culture, and it'll be a great challenge for us. I think we'll be up for it. And it should be a fun game.
And like your team, Coach, a good defensive team. They're second in the league in points allowed, second in field goal percentage against as well.
Yeah, and they turn you over. They're really good turning you over. One of the best teams in the country at turning people over. I think top 50. And, we've got to be ready to handle their pressure. We have a size advantage, but we've got to make sure we handle the ball, we take care of it. We can't turn it over and have turnovers lead to easy baskets at the other end. It's going to be a huge key in the game tomorrow.
And then a quick turnaround, and you're up in Hanover, New Hampshire, playing Dartmouth on Saturday night. And really, all you need to know about the Big Green is they upset the Georgetown Hoyas early in the season.
Beat Georgetown. They had Stanford. They were up 7 with a minute to go at Stanford and lost in overtime. They lost to Cal in a 2-possession game.
Yep.
So they're good. They got they have a 6th-year player in Brendan Berry. Aaron Rye is a 5th-year player, and then they have other veterans around those guys, juniors and seniors. Dave McLaughlin has done a very good job, building that program, and they'll be a great challenge for us. Our focus is on Harvard, but we know Saturday night in Hanover will be a battle.
Yeah, I remember that weekend. It was the last weekend of Brown basketball before the whole country was shut down due to the pandemic. But it was road wins at Harvard on Friday night and Dartmouth on Saturday. And I just remembered how well your kids played. I mean, your team played hard and played good basketball those 2 nights.
We played well. Our senior guards were terrific, Brandon Anderson and Zach Hunsaker. Obviously, we won't have those guys this time around. And this is a new year with new teams on our end and their end, and but it's a tough road trip because of who you're playing against, right?
Yeah.
Both opponents, starting with Harvard, will be prepared. They have talent, and they'll be ready for us.
And I suppose this is just luck, or maybe in our case, bad luck of the draw. But, with a team like Dartmouth, they were scheduled to host Yale on Friday night, but Yale has a COVID outbreak within the program, so that game gets canceled. So now Dartmouth is pretty much lying in wait all week long, preparing for just one opponent, not two. I don't know. I mean, I would say that could be advantageous for the Big Green. But your thoughts on that? I guess there's really nothing you can do, right, because of what we're dealing with right now.
We got to control what we can control, so
right.
We can't. I could give you some thoughts, but it's not really worth my time right now. I've got to focus on the things we can control. We have to do all our best to get ready. We've had a good week of prep for Harvard, and that's all we're thinking about right now. We'll quickly turn our focus to Dartmouth after the game tomorrow night, and do our best to come away with a win there. At the end of the day, it's a 40-minute game. Our guys they'll be up for the challenge, and I can't worry about what Dartmouth has or doesn't have, what we don't have. We've just got to the things that we can control are the things that we're focused on, and we're going to do everything we can to come away with 2 wins.
And one final thing, Coach, before we go, can you just fill in the listeners and the viewers? The Ivy League has pretty much followed suit with what most of the conferences are doing, Power 5, et cetera. In terms of COVID postponements or cancellations, is it 7 guys and a healthy coach and you're good to go?
Yeah, well, you have to, if you have a minimum of 7, you're required to play if your medical people at your institution deem it appropriate. So, obviously there can be instances where maybe there's an outbreak or there's different protocol at different institutions. It's whatever your institution's protocol is. The medical experts will say whether you can or can't play. If you have 7 and they deem that you can play, then you're required to play or it's a forfeit. If you have less than 7, I think you could still decide to play if the medical experts clear you. but you would not be required to play if you don't have 7 healthy players.
Okay. And tomorrow night's game, we should mention, by the way, has just been added to ESPNU, so national TV for the Bears and Crimson tomorrow night. It will be televised not just on ESPN Plus, but also on ESPNU, and it will be right here on AM 790 WPRV. 7 o'clock tap both nights, Friday at Harvard, Saturday at Dartmouth, 6:45 pregame with Russ and yours truly. Coach, good luck against the Crimson and Big Green.
Scott, thanks so much. Looking forward to it.
All right, that'll do it for the Mike Martin Show. All right, thanks to all the people that came out to Hope Street Pizza tonight, and thank you for tuning in and watching us this evening. For the head coach of the Bears, Mike Martin, my name is Scott Cardisci saying so long from Hope Street Pizza.